every year, thousands of people have these passports to be able to get around places, and so that they can, just get around places so that they will be able to live in other places, get to work in other places, and to be able to mainly see other places. Whether it will be for working, tourism, or just to go see your family. These passports hold everything that seems to be what countries see. Migration. Let's choose a random part of this stamp page. Yeah, let's say right here. Right here, we see a Sydney immigration arrival post. Right here, we see one for departure of Australia. Here, we see a stamp about, when you are allowed to go and enter Korea. Here is the visa that you're supposed to buy so that you're allowed to enter Turkey, or nowadays known as Turkey. And just a fun fact here, 214 million people globally, that's 3% of the international population, are living in different cities from that are not their birth countries, so that they can work there or live there or just grab a new life. In fact, these cities that have the most immigrants in them and are very pleasant for immigrants are usually called gateway cities. And the number one top international gateway city would be New York City. And the top number one gateway city in Europe would be London in the UK. And that's pretty much where lots of people seem to go to, the Americas or the Europeans, because they've been the most successful ones, and they're the ones who've actually industrialized the whole world to what we know today. I mean, we've been moving around for so long. Every year, for millenniums, we've been moving and moving and moving. That's how we spread across the whole world. How it was originally Homo sapiens and his cousins and different breeds and variants, but eventually it became just Homo sapiens dominating the planet, and eventually classifying Homo sapiens against Homo sapiens. Also, that has nothing to do with it. So here are 3 case studies that you might want to see. Number 1 case study is from New York City. Now, New York City, as I said earlier, is the top number 1 international gateway city. And it mainly used to be Ellis Island, just off New York, just off the coast of New York and all those places, to be where the most immigrants went to so that they can go get medical checkups and everything, and even their papers so that they can enter the United States of America legally. And to be honest, the only legal way that you could get in is to have a so-called green card to be able to live and work there permanently. And lots of people actually do that, so eventually 5 million people of immigrants is making up the population there. And that is kind of a big whopper too, because, it used to be a place where they restricted immigration, but then suddenly the whole of Europe and the other, Eastern world, actually, compared to them, it's the Eastern and Western world, but on a map, it will be an Eastern world just coming right at them. Second case study. Madrid. In Madrid, it turns out that the immigration population was very low, to be honest. In 2000, it just used to be 2% of the Madrid population was immigrants, and that was before I was born. And then suddenly, in 2010, after a decade, there are 18% more immigrants, because I guess that's one of the ways that kind of happens too. You get in, and you're in, and then you're born there. That basically means you're basically still an immigrant there. And it's just that immigrants are lots of more people decided to come in and live in Madrid because either they're closer and that they like the place, or that it seemed suitable and that it was the only place where they had family, or it was also their home country and they just came back. Wait, no, not that last part. And finally, case study number 3, Amsterdam, Netherlands. It turns out that the capital city of the Netherlands is a very attractive place too. Almost it attracts immigrants from everywhere. In fact, out of the official, it turns out 195 official countries in the world, 175 of those countries, people actually come inside, come in there just so that they can immigrate there. There are only 193 countries that are members of the United Nations, and 2 of these countries that are non-member of observer states are the Holy See and the state of Palestine. So yeah, that seems to be what it seems to look like too. 195, and there are about 200 countries in the world that are official, but then if you add all the other unofficial countries that seem to have popped out of nowhere, it's basically, it will just add up into more than, let's just say more than 200. But still, 175 countries, people packing themselves in Amsterdam. I guess Amsterdam is very, very multiracial. And so, what action can you do? Some people have gone just to go ahead and to stage a culture fair, while others, like a guy named Spencer Wells, a genealogist according to his occupation of National Geographic, went ahead and went to trace the migration books through DNA. In fact, it's actually funded incredibly by kit selling. National Geographic sold these little kits to be able to, get people to send, samples of their own little DNA strands so that they can use that to help trace back the genealogy from any everyday people. And the money from selling those kits is the thing that's funding the whole operation. The same guy even wrote a book and a documentary with the same title of each to talk about what his job was and what he did. And what can you do? I guess buy the kit and send in your DNA. And talk about migration and refugees and everything so that you, yourself, can be the fact that there's nothing wrong with immigrating as long as there's nothing illegal about it. I'm guessing that should be called a red card. And, yeah, spread the awareness. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode, and I am very looking forward to see you guys again. Till next time, Shnan out. Peace.